All right, today we're jumping into one of the biggest puzzles in language education. How do we get learners to go from just knowing a language to actually speaking it with real confidence?
You've seen this happen, right? A student can absolutely crush every single grammar test, but the second you ask them to just talk, they freeze up. There's actually a name for this. Some people call it the speaking paradox, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. How to build that bridge between knowing the rules and having a real spontaneous conversation. So, to even start building a confident speaker, you have to understand this one core idea. It's this constant push and pull, a balancing act between two huge goals: accuracy, which is all about being correct, and fluency, which is about being smooth.
Let's break this down. On one side, you've got accuracy. This is all the technical stuff, the how. Are you using the right grammar, the perfect vocabulary word? Is your pronunciation on point? Then on the other side, you've got fluency. And that's all about the what. Are you getting your message across? Are you speaking with some confidence? And are you willing to take a little risk to do it? So you can think of it like this. One's about the rules, the other is about just getting your point across. And this right here is the most important part. For the longest time, it felt like you had to pick a team. You were either on team accuracy or team fluency. But the best way to teach, we now know, is to see them as partners, not enemies. They work together. So what does that look like in a real classroom? Well, it's a cycle. You start off with very controlled exercises, really focusing on getting things right. That's the accuracy part. Then you ease into something a little more flexible, like a guided conversation. And from there, you just let them fly. You give them an open-ended task where the only goal is to communicate, to be fluent. And then, this is key, you circle back around at the end to review and polish the grammar, but only after they've had a chance to just talk. It's this constant loop of building, trying it out, and then refining. Okay, so if that cycle of accuracy and fluency is our foundation, what are the actual bricks we're going to use to build our speaker? Well, that's where task-based practice comes in. These are the activities that make language feel real and purposeful. So take something like an interview. Think about it. What is a conversation really? It's basically just asking and answering questions, right? By practicing interviews, students get the hang of the basic mechanics of any discussion: how to form a question, how to actually listen to the answer, and how to know when it's your turn to talk. Now, for learners who are a bit more advanced, debates are just fantastic. This isn't just about talking, it's about thinking on your feet. It pushes them to build an argument, to use persuasive language, and to really think critically. These are the skills you need for college, for work, for life. And then you've got role plays. I love these because they are the ultimate bridge to the real world. You can practice ordering food at a restaurant, going through a job interview, explaining a problem to a doctor, all of these things. It's like a practice run that gives learners the language and the confidence they need so when it happens for real, they don't freeze. And this quote really gets to the heart of why these tasks are so powerful. We're not just having students parrot back phrases from a book. They are communicating for a reason, they're learning to manage their own conversations, and they're learning from each other, which is just so important. Okay, so we've got our foundation, that balance of accuracy and fluency. We've got our building blocks, all those great tasks. Now it's time for the final polish. This is where we go from just doing activities to really mastering the art of a natural flowing conversation. This is a huge mental shift. You have to realize that speaking isn't just about you and the words coming out of your mouth. It's about you and the person you're talking to. It's a kind of social dance, and you're doing it together in real time. And to get good at that dance, it's all about these little, subtle skills that make a huge difference. Things like turn-taking, just knowing when to start and when to stop talking, or negotiation of meaning. That's just a fancy way of saying you know how to ask, "Wait, what did you mean by that?" without killing the vibe. Even using little hedging phrases like, "I think maybe," or "it kind of seems like," can make you sound softer and more polite. These are the little things that make someone sound truly natural. And I have to say, none of this, not a single bit of it, will work without this one thing. The single biggest wall that stops people from speaking is not grammar. It's fear. Fear of making a mistake. So creating a classroom, a space where mistakes are seen as normal, as part of the process, that's absolutely non-negotiable. So let's bring this all home. We've built this whole pyramid, right? Starting with that foundation of accuracy and fluency, adding the building blocks of task-based practice, and putting on that final polish of conversational skills. It all leads to one thing: the confident speaker. So here's what that person looks like.
A confident speaker is not someone who is perfect. No way. They're someone who knows how to balance being correct with just keeping the conversation flowing. They have a whole toolbox of skills they've practiced, and they get the social side of talking to another human being. And that really leaves us with this final thought to chew on. If confidence is truly the name of the game, then our whole mindset has to shift. The real question we should all be asking is this: how do we create environments where the act of trying is celebrated even more than the act of being right? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.